Yo, yo, yo. Last time I left off, I finished my Nintendo GameCube, N64, PSP, DS, and Wii's. So I decided to make my PS2 collection a whole separate thing since there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 games I have for the PS2. I know it's probably not a lot for like those diehard gamers, but it's a lot for me. So let's start off. First off, I'll start with my favorite series ever for the PlayStation 2, Devil May Cry. This is the first one. Any hack and slash fan who doesn't know this game, you have not lived, you must go pick this up now. The first one is extremely cheap. I think all three for the PS2 are extremely cheap, so if you're an eBay shopper, I recommend you highly pick this up if you haven't heard of it yet. Oh my god, how can anyone not know hack and slash know Devil May Cry? This is the one that people hate, but it's the one I didn't start off with. It's the one I actually beat first. Devil May Cry 2. I'll admit it's not as great as the other three Devil May Cry's because Dante's not as serious, not as sarcastic. He doesn't talk off the monsters. He's just like, I'm emo, but I enjoy it. So if you wanna, I think this game might be the easiest one to find. So if you want to play a good hack and slash game, you might want to start off with Devil May Cry 2 since it's the easiest. Then go with Devil May Cry 1, then Devil May Cry 3, which I'm about to show you right now. This is Devil May Cry 3, Dante's Awakening, but this is a special edition, so you can play as Virgil as well. My best friend bought this game for me for my birthday, so, not my birthday, but Christmas. I was super excited. I'm like, you bought me Devil May Cry 3, I love you. So, this is by far, in my opinion, the best Devil May Cry out of all three, so, not all three, but all four. So, I would highly recommend picking up all three of these games for the PlayStation 2, otherwise your collection will not be a true PlayStation 2 collection in my mind. This next game series I'm going to show you is also like one of the best, to me, RPG series for the PlayStation 2, but it's extremely hard to find and it's really expensive, so unless you have a pack load of money, I wouldn't recommend getting this. Unless you were willing to spend $80 on one game. Which, this is the first game. It's the rarest one out of all the series. This is called Shadow Hearts. This game, my friend was able to grab for $46, and trust me, on eBay, that is a great find for considering how the condition it's in and how there's not a single scratch on the disc. So, if you want to get it like this, you're probably looking to pay like $80. Sometimes, if it's factory sale, you might be able to pay. You might be paying up to $200. I know some people probably wouldn't want to pay that much for a game, so it might be crap at a look. Okay, this is the second one in the series. This is called Shadow Hearts Covenant. This is actually the first one I started with because it was at it's a place called Cash Converters. It was on for $21, so I saw it and I was like, mine! I grabbed it and I've beaten this game about 7 times now. So this is cheaper than this one. So if you want to start off with, I'd recommend anyone who wanted to try the series out. If the first game here is too expensive, I would recommend starting with this game, but you might get spoilers for the first one. And next, this is the one that's the easiest to find. It's the cheapest, but it's not the best. This is the third one, Shadow Hearts from the New World. This one isn't as great as the other two, so if you want to start off with the series and you only have like $23, and this is probably the one you might want to start with. But if you have like, say, $30, you might want to start off with the second one instead. And if you have like $80, you start off with the first one. So if you want to get all three of these games, you're probably looking at paying over $100. You'll easily over $100. You'll want to get all three. I'm also getting the strategy guide for the second one, so I'm a happy camper. Next we have Castlevania Curse of Darkness. This is the original game for the manga I showed you. I bought this about 2 weeks ago, so I love it so far. It's another hack and slash game. It's very similar to Devil May Cry, so if you are familiar with Devil May Cry, you might want to pick this game up as well. It's quite similar to like hack slash. It's quite fun too. Next, this is another series that probably everyone is familiar with, Kingdom Hearts. This is the second one. I couldn't get into the first and Chain of Memories, so I had all three, but I sold the first and second, the first and Chain of Memories. I enjoy this. I'm not a really huge fan of Disney, so I don't really like all the Disney elements to it, but so if you it's a good game, so if anyone's a fan of Disney and Final Fantasy, pick it up. Next we have this game. Isn't too popular, but I love it. This is called Genji, Dawn of the Samurai. This is set in let me see, 1189 Japan, and it is awesome. So and it's also quite bloody. So if you're not a fan of blood and gore, I wouldn't pick this up. It's not very gory, but it's very bloody. So next we have Yu-Gi-Oh! Capsule Monster Coliseum. A lot of people think the Yu-Gi-Oh! Games aren't that good, or from what I've heard, but I enjoy them. I haven't played much of this one, to be honest, but I enjoy it for what I played of it so far. Any Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan who was a fan of Castle Monsters, you might want to pick this little number up here. So next we have Yu-Gi-Oh! The Duels of the Roses. This is a game I think that not many people like, but I enjoy it. I've beaten it twice. At first I hated it because of the friggin' how your deck costs had to be lower and their cards are better and etc. But I managed to figure out the secret to the game and beat it twice. Now I display it to kick everyone's asses because I have super powerful cards. And my deck cards are still lower than the bad guys. Yay! Next we have Harvest Moon Save the Homeland. I believe this one was remade for the PSP called Hero of the Leaf Valley, but this is the original game of that game. I enjoy it. I hate the fact that you can't get married, and every time you save the homeland, as the game is called, you have to restart, and your family should restart. It's not very long, but oh well. Any Harvest Moon fan, I would recommend picking this game up. Alright. Next we have Zatch Bell, Mode of Fury. Any fan of Zatch Bell, I'd recommend picking this up. It follows the storyline of the anime, I believe, so I picked this up because I haven't watched Zatch Bell in about 5 years, or however long what year it came out. So I love it. So any fan of Zatch Bell, pick this up. Next we have a classic that everyone's probably heard of, and it's going to be remade for the PS3 and the Vita. Final Fantasy X. I'm actually replaying this game right now with because I wanted to see if I can do everything, like get the Dark Aeons, all the Aeons, etc. My friend was like, "Good luck to you for that." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, it's gonna be freaking a pain in the butt." Next, we have the Herbs, Sims in the City. Everyone probably knows of the Sims, but this one is more like city life, and you try to build reputation and all that fancy jazz. So if anyone's a fan of the Sims games, this would be one game that I recommend you try out. And next is probably, I think like 1 million people like this game on Facebook. So The Sims 2. I love this game. I love The Sims because the fact that you make gay and lesbian things, you don't have to be all straight. So I always make lesbian terrors. So anyone who likes trying to figure out what kind of games it would be. Like real life games, you can make your own person and all that, so games are fine. Last but certainly not least, we have Death by Degrees featuring Tekken's Neely Williams. This game is bloody, is very violent, it has strong language, and has really suggestive themes, as you can probably tell by the cover. So if you can't handle, like, for example, this kind of stuff, where is it? Right there. Or very bloody things, or people being stuffed in morgues and seeing blood. This isn't definitely not a game for you. I don't play this much because some parts of it give me nightmares. Sadly. Anyway, good thing I made this into a separate segment because it took 8 minutes. That was my whole game collection. So hope you enjoyed watching. And I don't know when I'll make a video again, but when I do, I will see you then. Alright, talk to you later.